Welcome to History with Master Squishies. In today's video, we'll be covering the history of the M10 Achilles. We'll be going over who made it, the design, what nations used it, some of the battles it took place in, and how it performs in-game. To start off with, the M10 Achilles, officially the 17-pounder self-propelled Achilles, was a British converted variant of the American M10, with 1,100 converted by the Royal Arsenal. The name Achilles was officially designated to the 3-inch gun and the 17-pounder, but the Achilles name was used little during the war and was called the 17-pounder M10 or the 17-pounder self-propelled M10, and even occasionally the Firefly. Starting in 1942, the American M10 arrived to the battlefield and performed well. The armor provided good protection against 50mm guns, and the M7 76mm gun mounted on it was significantly better than the 6-pounder gun mounted on British tanks. In 1943, the British would get access to the M10, but wouldn't start conversion until 1944. The conversion would consist of the M7 76mm gun being replaced by the 17-pounder gun and a counterweight being added behind the muzzle brake. The British planned to convert 1,000 M10s into the 17-pounder variants for Normandy. However, by June 6, 1944, only 124 M10s had been converted. Post D-Day and by the end of the year, 816 M10s were converted. By the end of the war, only 1,100 of the 1,650 M10s received were converted. The Achilles was the second most numerous vehicle to carry the 17-pounder, behind the Sherman Firefly. The M10 Achilles had a single turret mounted with an ordnance quick-firing 17-pounder gun and had a secondary top-mounted Browning M2 HB machine gun. It had a minimum of 9mm of armor and a maximum of 57.2mm of armor. It had a crew of 5, a weight of 29.6 tons, a length of 7.01 meters or 23.8 feet with its gun, and 5.97 meters or 19.7 feet without the gun. The width was 3.05 meters or 10 feet, a height of 2.57 meters or 8.2 feet, and a max speed of 32 miles per hour on road. Next, we'll move on to its operational history. The Achilles went ashore on D-Day, equipping the Royal Artillery and the Royal Canadian Artillery. The most successful encounter was when the B Troop, 245th Battery, 62nd Anti-Tank Regiment, Royal Artillery attached to the Canadian Royal Hamilton Light Infantry during Operation Charnwood would take the city of Caen and hold off a German counterattack. This led to the loss of 13 German tanks at the cost of only 4 self-propelled guns destroyed and 4 others damaged. The Achilles would continue to be used until the end of the war. However, as the M36 Jackson and M18 Hellcat became more abundant, the Achilles was less relevant. Finally, we'll move on to how it performs in War Thunder versus how it performed historically. The M10 Achilles in War Thunder is decently done. The minimum armor is right at 9mm and the maximum armor is off a bit at 50.8mm when it should be 57.9mm. The main gun is right with it being an ordnance quick-firing 17-pounder, and the secondary is also right with it being a Browning M2 HB machine gun. Finally, the speed is considerably off with it being 25.4 miles per hour when it should be 32 miles per hour on road. All in all, the M10 Achilles needs some work. The armor should be brought up to 57.2mm and the speed should be brought up to 32 miles per hour on road. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, squish that like and subscribe button and let me know what you want to hear about next. I'll see you in the next one.